Hi, I'm coming today and I've read chapter 7 and chapter 8, and I was really shocked after starting to read in chapter 7 how colors have its place. It knows exactly what can be mixed, and the color wheel has a lot of work on it. It tells you a lot about the colors. It lets you know. Chapter 7 discussed the importance of color. It gives you explanation of the color wheel and how it really works. It has its own definition of colors. I didn't know that colors was divided into two parts. I thought color was just a color until reading chapter 7. The CMYK is made up of blue, red, pink, and black, and these colors are mainly used in a professional usage such as advertisement in the corporate world or online classes. You have to have some color sometimes, not just black and white, but a lot of the courses online is just basically black and white. However, you have the RGB, and that's a mixture of blue, red, and a hot pink. The RGB coloring is known to work through the light, like when you're looking at the computer, is basically something that just reflect into your eyes. And sometimes some of them reflect and sometimes some of them do not because of the glare or because the way you're sitting. It may not reflect to harm you, and then some can be harmful to your eyes. But colors are used in the classroom. It's used on a daily basis. I see children come home and tell their mom, I'm on red, I'm on yellow, I think it's red, yellow, and green. They use those primary colors for today world, and it's being useful. It lets them know what level of discipline that they're in. But you also have where the complementary colors, there is colors that's normally I say complementary, and that's what the book says, but I think it's like your shades, like you're wanting a shade of blue or a shade of red or something that's giving you a shade, not a color direct to your eyes, but something that may blend in with something else to come over or color over. But colors has a lot of input, and there's a combination of a lot of colors that you can use. I didn't know it was like this, and actually until I really read it. And when you add black, that's where you get your shade from. But white, it gives you a tint. And that's something I knew black would make a color darker and white will make a color lighter, but I didn't know that is where they got their tint from, because I just thought they put extra color in there. I wasn't sure about that. But reading this was very interesting to me. I had no idea. But that's where a lot of the colors come from. Like when you're doing an advertisement, you have to make sure you have that color to bring in your consumer or your customer or client or what have you. Because they watch, when they look at something, they want something that's going to pull them. That looks nice. I'm going to walk in there and look in there and see exactly what's in there. Okay. A lot of colors you have your warm colors, you have your cool colors, and I think your warm colors is like in the summertime versus your cool colors are in the wintertime. And it could be vice versa, but nowadays they just put on. And warm colors is such as, like, I think it's gray and tan, and you add a little yellow or red or something like that, versus the cool colors are just adding colors such as blue. So the background of colors is very interesting. I'm going to spend a little more time reading chapter 7 because I want to know a little bit more about colors. It's very interesting. I also read chapter 8, and it's talking about the extra tips and the tricks that is being shown when you're advertising books. And you see the 3 pictures of Shakespeare here, and Shakespeare is basically formatted. Everything is repetitious on here because he have his book, he have his name on the side and his name here on the side, and it's the same format. But then here he tells you a little bit more. He goes in detail, so he gives some contrast in there, and then he do some alignment that is added in there as well. And he just lets you know about what's going to be in the book, because here with the man with the daggers in his back, but however he's bleeding, so you know it's going to be something tragic, or you're going to have someone that's going to stab this man in his back and going to hurt him. Wherefore in the middle cover is letting you know she may have to choose between 2 guys, or she have some guards, however. So this is going to be more of like a romantic type, I feel, book. And then the last book over here, I really didn't know what was this going here. I think he was going to be talking about a lot, but he could look at his format here. He put that in red. But then here it's kind of warm colors here. So that there go the colors that's coming from chapter 7 coming over to chapter 8, and is basically bringing out chapter 8. He did a lot of information in chapter 8 on the booklets that he had. You have to also look at when you're doing business cards, and you have to know the tips that you have to put on there, the skin, or if you're doing some advertising for weight loss, skinny, or losing 10 pounds in one day, or something similar to that. You have to make sure that you're putting the keywords onto your design or your business card. And also the trick to your letterhead is that you have people that like stationery, that like very nice looking stationery, as to some people just throw something on paper and say, hey, this is a letterhead. Similar to, I think, Social Security. They just put it black and white. So it's your format, your type of size, your tips for doing and making sure that your business cards are correct. Just make sure that they're legible, everything is clear, and it's going to pull in your consumer. You have to be creative. Make sure that you're creating something that's going to give them, I want that. I need to see what is that about. And flyers, when you're advertising business, and such as a lot of people are, I think a lot of women now here in Hattiesburg is selling that jewelry, and they give out a lot of cards at my church about the jewelry. Some of them are very impressive and some of them are not. So you have to put something there to make them want to come back and say, hey, I would like to look at your information. It's just like reading a book. You're standing in the line and you may see a magazine on the rack. That magazine may have something to catch your eye and you want to look at it. It can be just a pretty dress. But if the color of that magazine is kind of, I'll say pink, I'm going to pick it up, or purple. Purple is my favorite color. They say purple is royalty, but that goes back to the color in chapter 7. But chapter 8 really went over what you look for when you're doing some advertising. You want to pull in your reader, or you want to pull in your consumer, or you want to pull in your business prospect. You want to pull it in. So you have to be very mindful of what you're putting out there, something that's going to catch that person's eye. So it took me back to when I did 2 projects. And that finance project, I was like, okay, we're going to talk about finance. So I want to pull them in. I don't want everything green, because everybody wanted to put green with money because that's the color of it. But I thought a little pink would like bring it in, and that pink and putting that green together, it kind of put it a little dash of purple, and just went on and told about the things that we were going to be discussing within the finance class. And then I also saw myself being repetitive by using the same format when I did the budget. And then I came back with the information about finance, and there was another page in bullet points that I had on finance, and all three of them was the same, and I didn't realize it until I read the book on chapter 8 and saw that I had the format and had everything that was aligned. It was just being repetitious, and I thought that was kind of cool that I hadn't read the book all the way, but it was interesting. I really appreciate you guys having patience and understanding with me. I have a lot on my plate right now in my family, but however, I was going to drop out of school, and I'm pushing my way through. But thank you for your patience and your understanding. You guys and your family have a blessed and wonderful holiday, and I really enjoyed being in the group with you guys. Thank you, and have a nice night.